Hey guys, it's Slumming Rush. Today we're going to be doing a replay review of the T2064. How this is going to work is I'm going to spend about a minute or two in the garage, then we're going to go into a replay, and then we're going to go back into the garage and talk about whether or not I think you should get the Super Pershing. So to start off, we're just going to look at my setup. I mean, people already know the stats of this tank. I don't really feel like we should spend 10 minutes on them. Basically, this is how I set it up. This is my M46 Patton crew. But if you're getting a dedicated Super Pershing crew, I'd set it up the exact same way. You want Brothers in Arms as first skill, 6th Sense repairs, and safe stowage. And then, you know, since it's a medium tank crew, you're going to want camouflage and whatnot. And this view range perk right here, which is something that I have. I don't know what it's called. Situational awareness. That'll increase your view range, so it means you can sort of get away without using optics. As far as equipment setup goes, V-stab, rammer, vents. Now, this works really well. And the reason for that is the Super Pershing has a extremely quick reload. You've got 240 alpha and something like a 7-second reload. This is perfect for getting 2 shots into people and only letting them get 1 shot into you. So the goal here with my setup is to maximize perma-tracking potential, which is tracking someone and preventing them from moving, as well as getting 2 shots into people before they can reload and then falling back. So with like a 6.7 second reload or whatever it is, we can actually check that here. That's not correct. It's not 8.86. With like a 7-second reload, you can get 2 shots into people before they can reload. Then you fall back and let your teammates support you and stuff. That's really practical because it lets you out trade enemies. Now, that's how I use this tank. That's how I set it up. As far as ammo goes, this tank recently got a buff, so it's got 192 AP pen. Honestly, that's super good because that allows you to reliably pen the weak spots of tier 8 heavies and some tier 9 heavies. Now, I run a lot of gold on this tank because I'm a Unicum and I stat pad. If you're running this tank for credits, I would suggest 10 to 15 APCR. I mean, it's not like you're going to run out of AP and you're only, like, there's no risk of running out of AP unless you're terrible at aiming. So you can sort of get away with like 15 to 20 because you're never going to, it really doesn't matter. Like, carry like 30 AP shells and the rest whatever you want. Most people are probably going to carry 10. I mean, that's perfectly reasonable because right there, if you hit all your shots with APCR, that's 24 APCR down, 2400 APCR damage. So, yeah, I run 25 because I have credits. I can afford to. I didn't mean to do that. And that's basically my setup on this tank. So let's go take a look at the replay. Alrighty, so we're on the map Siegfried Line. This is a standard battle. In this game, I got 170,000 credits in my Super Pershing, and yeah. So how I like to play Siegfried Line, I really don't know. It's one of those maps that you sort of have to play it by ear. I like to sort of try to go into the middle of the map. It works really well for a quickly reloading tank like the Super Pershing. And, you know, I'm an aggressive player, so I just like to dug into the fight and just use the tank's reload to its advantage. You're going to see I'm going to do that. So yeah, so you can see I'm pushing in. There's an IS-6 in front of me. I'm noticing that a lot of my teammates are TDs, so you're going to see a lot of them behind me. The S51 one-shots that IS-6, poor guy. And I'm just going to have to deal with this OI in front of me. Now, I'm trying to get into position here. You can see I'm just pointing my front armor at him because I don't want him to hit my side because he'll pen. And yeah, I'm already dug in. Like, a minute into the game, I'm extremely aggressive. Now, there's a KV3 is pushing into me. You're going to see how I'm going to play this. You can see I'm watching people. I know the KV3 is reloaded, but I am going to focus on keeping that KV3 perma-tracked, so he just stays there. There's a T150 in front of me. I'm moving forward so the KV5 doesn't have a chance to put shots into my rear. You can see the Type 64 moves forward. I was moving forward to try to support him, but he dies. Now I'm just going to sort of stick to brawling with this KV3. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm keeping my eye on the minimap. You can see I'm looking behind me while I'm reloaded. That's a really important tactic because that increases your situational awareness. Like, when you're reloading, you really don't have to watch the guy in front of you, especially if he's reloading too. So you can see I'm going to do that. Every single time I shoot, I look around me and make sure I'm okay. Like, there's no one coming up behind me. You're going to notice there's not a T29 anymore covering my rear, so it is a threat. Like, that KV5 might come around it behind me. There's no one to suppress him, so I do have to keep my eye on the minimap and just be aware of his position. So I'm sort of pushing into this T150 here. I just have the opportunity to shoot at him. I donk a couple shots here. I didn't realize there was going to be something blocking my shot, but that's okay. This thing reloads so quickly, it doesn't really matter. Gonna see if I can pick up the kill on that T150. I think that was a 1 damage kill or something. Yeah, 1 damage, 10 out of 10. And now I'm going to work on this KV5. Now, one thing to notice, there is a T32 to my side, and I'm aware of that. That's what I mean by situational awareness. You're going to notice, let's zoom out here, I don't angle my armor towards him. And that's simply because I don't want to give him the opportunity to shoot at my side. Like, honestly, you can very easily pen the side of this tank. So instead of angling, I just point my armor straight at the enemy. And, you know, they'll either pen or they don't. It doesn't really matter. I've got the hit points here. I don't have to be super cautious. There's the T32 again. I know the second I shoot, he's going to try to poke out and put a shot into me. So immediately I point my armor towards him and I bounce his shell. Right now, both teams are down 4 tanks. They're down quite a few heavies, which is really strong for us. Our team is still being really passive. You're going to notice I'm the most aggressive player on my team currently. There's a super Pershing. I'm going to go for his track, and this actually pens. It just shows you how weak the side on that thing is. And I'm just going to take advantage of this. Like, he is very not angled at all. Like, his angle is minimal, and I'm still able to pen his side. So this is really why I suggest trying to avoid angling and just showing your frontal armor in the super Pershing, because, like, it's so easy to pen the side of this thing. I have the option of going for his turret or the side. I choose the side because that's easier to pen. There's a 3485 pushing behind me, so I'm going to put a shot into him. I don't know why he's pushing up, but, you know, he's a tier 6, so he probably doesn't know the game too well. And I'm going to go pushing to try to get even more damage. I'm up to 4k damage already. You can see how easy it is with this thing. If you just get stuck in and live and shoot stuff, the damage numbers go up really quickly, and so does your profit, so there's that. Alright, so I'm going to sort of figure out who I want to fight right now. I know there's a super Pershing to my left, a KV5 in front of me, and a T32 who's full HP. And I also know that I don't really have a lot of support on my teammates. You can see that on the mini-map there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push into this KV5. Now, this is because I'm greedy and I want more credits. There's the risk that I get pushed by the super Pershing who's to my left, and I can see him on my mini-map. So the thinking here is I want to kill the KV5 very quickly and just make sure I kill him before the super Pershing gets behind me. Now, you'll notice the super Pershing hasn't actually noticed me, so I can take my time here a bit. You know, you see I look behind me and he's not pressuring me, so that's fine. I'm just going to focus on penning the R2-D2 on this KV5. He's, you know, it's hard to pen this tank from the front, so I could take my time right there. Right now I've got a T32 to my side and a super Pershing to my other side. I'm just going to kill the super Pershing because he's easy to kill. That low rolls, he's on 3 HP, and I mean, he's on 3 HP, so it doesn't really matter. The new Swedish TD pens me, so I know exactly where he is. He's on the hill. I really don't know what his alpha is or what his pen is. To be honest, it doesn't matter. I've got hit points, so I can take a hit right here. And I do, and I'm just going to try to shoot him. Unfortunately, that shot misses, and I'm not going to pressure him anymore because I've got 700 HP, and I know they've got a relatively full HP T32 that I still have to deal with. So he runs away. I can sort of go chase down that T32. I do have to be careful about pressuring the T32 because I don't want to be in a crossfire with the Sweden TD. That shot bounces off his side. I think it's because it went low and just didn't go into his tank. It probably just hit his track and underneath his tank. I'm going to chase him down. Now, again, I have to be careful because I don't want the UDES to shoot me, but you can see he's running away. So really, I've got nothing to worry about. It's just sort of damage farming mode right now. And you are going to notice that I am down to 3 AP shells right here. So I'm just going to chase this guy. It's the end of the game. I want to get as much damage and kills as I can just to increase my profit. I set the T32 on fire. That's why you aim for his engine, and he dies. You can see he gave up right there. He sort of saluted his gun. Poor guy. Honestly, he would have won if I wasn't, you know, if I hadn't done 5k damage this game. So, yeah. Oh well. There's the S51. I put a shot into him. 214 damage, 5670 damage. And that's going to be my last shot of the game. So I'm going to take a very quick look at the end plates and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so as you can see, this was a mastery badge, normal. I don't know what all these other medals are. I know we did get a high caliber and a steel wall. 170k credits, 5700 damage, 5 kills, etc, etc. And 1600 credits profit. So this vehicle has really low ammo costs and really low repair costs. You can see that right here. In the end, we fired like 30 shells and spent 6k on credits. Like, that's like nothing. So 160,000 credit profit. Honestly, so far, I really do think it's a great credit earner. Let's go talk about it a bit more in the garage. Alrighty, so should you get the Super Pershing? In my opinion, I really do think it's worth it. Compared to the other premium tanks in the game, honestly, the Super Pershing is the best bang for the buck right now. This is at tier 8, of course. I don't have a lot of experience with lower tiers. But in my opinion, the Super Pershing is definitely worth it. I have the T-34 and other tanks. The Super Pershing, with the buff, is probably going to be the best bang for your buck credit earner, simply because you don't need to shoot gold, unlike the IS-6, and you don't see a lot, like, you don't see tier 10s, so, like, even less gold spam is needed. And I mean, when you do shoot tier 9s, yeah, you do need APCR. But against tier 6s and tier 7s, the Super Pershing is extremely effective. And honestly, it's very, very good at making credits. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a 1-hour video in the future where I sort of test how many credits I can make per hour. And I'll just record that live and then upload it to my channel. So if you want, you can check that out. But yeah, I would totally recommend the Super Pershing, especially for beginners. Like, it's such a forgiving tank. And it's not exactly like, it's not $50, so it's not over the top expensive. And it trains your medium crew, which is awesome because I really like the M48 patent. So yeah, that's my opinion. I personally think it's definitely worth the price tag of like 7,200 gold. Yeah, it's 7,200, especially compared to the other tier 8 mediums. I would definitely suggest getting this tank. So that's pretty much it. I hope to see you around later, guys. Bye-bye.